Hey folks, this is Chris Crazyhouse, and I'm back again with some more Chris Crazy commentary. This is the segment of my channel where I like to focus on whatever news is going on in pop culture or pop fandom, and I give you my ideas and my commentary on what's going on. If you are so inclined, if you like this section of my channel, my YouTube channel, go ahead and subscribe and make sure you like and share the videos as well. I very much would appreciate that, and it helps the channel out a lot. So today I'm going to be talking about Marvel Voices, Indigenous Voices, Captain Marvel, and the lackluster artwork that resides inside this book. So I was kind of just hanging out on Friday afternoon, and I was looking on Facebook, and I saw my homegirl Kimberly Mosberry. She posted up some images from this comic book, and it's called Marvel Voices, Indigenous Voices, and apparently this one features the main character of Captain Marvel, and the only thing I could do when I saw this was kind of chuckle to myself and just kind of roll my eyes a little bit at the lack of any type of real effort by the publishers over at Marvel to create something that would be worthy of the name that their company has garnered over the years, over the decades, I should say. Because Marvel has been known for putting out quality artwork and quality stories to their fans when it comes to their comic books. But if they're just going to go ahead and throw this stuff out there, I can't see how they're going to hold on to any type of prestige or hold on to any type of credibility when it comes to being a comic book publisher by releasing something of such low quality. So, I mean, here are the pages for you folks to see and take a look at for yourselves, and you can see what I'm talking about. I've seen a lot of people on social media kind of compare this to what happened over at DC when DC Comics released that Wonder Woman tie-in book for the Wonder Woman movie, Wonder Woman 1984. And they saw that type of artwork and that drab way that Wonder Woman was drawn. Well, I guess Marvel, hoping not to be left out, decided to do their own terrible version of one of their main female characters, and they went ahead and put this out here. And I guess this is supposed to be the comic book itself is supposed to be talking about and sharing the experiences of Native Americans out there and trying to connect with a Native American audience. But to put something out like this of low quality, if I was a Native American, I would feel insulted and disrespected for someone to put this out there and make it seem like this is something that I would enjoy. Don't do that to me now. If you're going to try to pander to me or try to get my dollars, at least put some effort into it. Get a top-notch artist or someone that is at least competent with creating artwork for a comic book before you put out some trash like this. And I don't know what was really going through their heads when they put this out there. Like I always wonder what type of art direction is going on at these companies now. Like you have these editors and art directors and people who are supposed to be the heads of the studio. They just throw stuff out there. There's no filter process anymore. And in my opinion, just from what I've seen and what I've heard working in the industry myself, there's a lot of nepotism going on. A lot of people just hire their friends or people who have the same political leanings as them. They don't really they're not trying to get the best product out there to the fans anymore. It's more about, like I said, it's more about politics. It's more about who you know. It's more about who you went to school with. Just put that stuff out there and put out whatever you can and try to pump it up and market it as something great for other people. And if anyone says anything negative about it, it'll be real easy to just go out there and assault them and say that they're just bigots. They're just mean old men who don't like new versions of comic book characters and don't like new art or whatever, right? They'll just put out whatever type of attacks they can, or they'll call you Comicsgate. That seems to be the catch-all term for anyone who does not like the new style of comic books out there. You're just a mean old curmudgeon, and you're a part of the Comicsgate conspiracy, right? So that's what we have here, folks. And it's, you know, like I've said before, I don't like to tear down other people's artwork, because I think we all have, you know, all artists got to start out somewhere, and we all have a chance to create and to grow and to put things out. But for a major company to be the number one or number two as far as comic book publishers, people expect a certain amount of quality from you. And even so, the panels I've seen here are just boring. There's nothing great about them. There's nothing great that you would want to sit here and want to sit and that will hold your attention enough to where you want to sit and read the rest of this comic. It just is boring. It almost looks like the art you would see in like a pamphlet or something like that, like a pamphlet that's trying to educate you or whatever about something boring that you would get from your school or from summer camp or something. That's what it kind of reminds me of. Just no quality to it whatsoever. And I've seen artists do their own renditions of it. I'm not going to do that for this just because I don't have the time. I have other projects that I'm working on myself for this week that I want to get done to help myself. I'm not trying to help and bolster Marvel. They got plenty of clout and plenty of money. They can go out there and get some real artists to do this stuff. And that's the real sad part about this, is that there are very talented people out there. I know some myself who have tried to apply to Marvel as an artist, who have sent submissions or who have done their own books, and they don't get any attention whatsoever. They don't get any response, or they get rejected. But Marvel will bring this person in here and let them draw just whatever they want, basically. And, you know, I don't know what it is about the character of Captain Marvel nowadays where they try to make her look as ugly as possible. Because that's what it seems that they're trying to do at Marvel. Make her as unappealing of a character emotionally, physically, and socially as possible. Just make her just mean-spirited and standoffish and ugly and oafish, and you won't like the character at all. But then they expect you to like the character when they do that. And I don't know what that's about. I don't know if there's some, well, I do know there is some sort of agenda behind that. But, you know, it's obvious you can't have this anymore. They don't want this type of Carol Danvers anymore. This is how she used to look back in the day. And apparently this was too much. I guess this was too gratuitous because her legs are showing. She had a large bust, and that's just too much for the comics community nowadays. I guess this is considered too sexist or whatever, right? I don't know what they have going on in their head where this is bad or this is something that you can't have in comics. But even so, even if they changed her costume to that the red, gold, and blue, which I don't mind at all. I actually like that costume a lot. But the way it's drawn by a lot of these artists is like they try their best. I guess they're trying to make her androgynous or almost like a symbol for the LGBT movement. And I don't even think the character is LGBT. I think she's supposed to be straight, if I'm not mistaken. The last time I kept up with the character or the comic books themselves, she was in a relationship with War Machine, but didn't they kill him off so they could have their little Marvel Civil War 2 or whatever, right? I don't even know how that went. You guys let me know in the comment section if you actually sat and read that trash. But Yeah, so I don't know. The last time I checked, she was straight and she liked men, but I guess they're trying to go for something different with this. I don't know, folks. You guys can let me know what they're doing with Carol Danvers these days. I know they have the ever bright and lovely and beautiful Brie Larson playing her in the movies, and I'm kind of saying that tongue-in-cheek and sarcastically, only because I know both her and her minions are on YouTube, and I don't want to get my channel shut down if I say anything negative about her. I've already said enough bad things about her on one of my other channels, just from her attitude and how she treats people when she's out in public. But you know, I don't want to get this channel shut down because of that too. So I don't know if that's part of it, if they're trying to match her mindset and her way of doing things with the character, because it seems the character is almost completely different than it was even 10 years ago. And I don't know what Marvel thinks they're doing. They're going to go down in flames just like their good buddies over at DC if they keep doing stuff like this. All they're doing is hurting their characters and hurting their stable of ideas and hurting the brand that so many people have worked all their lives to create and build and make something out of it. And now when it's time to reap the rewards, it seems like you got all these numbskulls and people with these agendas just come in and do their best to destroy what has been created. So you guys let me know how you feel about it in the comments section. And once again, if you like my blogs here, if you like my videos, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe, and follow me on my other social media. And I'll post the links to those in the description box. Anyway, Chris Crazyhouse signing out. Peace.